we made it back nice and safe from Cleetus cars, and it's time to get the car unloaded and see what we can do to fix that cooling issue. So we're getting ready to tear into it and see what we can get done today. Hopefully we can get it running good enough to take it on another drive, and hopefully we can figure out something to do with that cooling system so we're not going to have this issue again. All right, finally got this thing unloaded, finally got the hood off. It's not exactly the easiest task when you're by yourself, but everything's finally off of it and I can start digging into it. And the first thing I noticed when I took the hood off is, we didn't show it in the last video, but we had issues getting all the spark plugs out, and 3 of them broke, and we just left them laying there. So the whole 12-hour trip back from Florida, they just kind of chilled under the hood and didn't fly out, which is I'm very thankful for, because that could have really hurt somebody. It could have easily taken out a windshield with that porcelain. But that's still good, and now it's time to dig further into it. And I think I'm going to start off by taking out the spark plugs we have in it now that are all probably in need of being changed anyways. And I wanted to mention about that, the spark plugs that we replaced the broken ones with came from Nursing Garage. One of the guys that does the burnouts with us, he's a really cool guy, and he's really awesome and has been a big help to us, and I just want to give him another shout out. So thanks, man. If you see this, we really appreciate it. But I'm going to go ahead and tear into it. The old spark plugs tore out of it real quick, and we're going to throw the new ones in it, and then we're going to start digging into the cooling. All the spark plugs have been changed. They're a little bit warmer of a spark plug than what we would like to have. Only a TR5, but it'll get us where we need for now. And we got some colder plugs on the way, because we have some upgrades coming in the next week or two, and you'll be able to see that on the next coming videos. But until then, we're going to try and figure out a way to get rid of that hose that popped off and allowed all of our cooling to come out. It's just tucked in here, but it comes straight off the throttle body, which is connected somewhere down in there, which you might not, probably aren't gonna be able to see. Yeah, that little hose down there. It comes off of that, off the steam ports, comes off the throttle body, and from there it just goes to that hose that we had zip tied closed. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with that, whether we put a plug on it, whether we close it, crimp it, do whatever, solder, I don't know. But I guess I'm gonna get to it and let you know what we decide to do. So we've done a little bit of thinking. I think what we're gonna do, we're probably gonna get a coolant expansion tank, and we're gonna have the steam port line going into that tank, because it's probably meant to do that anyways. If you think about it, it's got steam, it's got hot water that it could be pouring back into the system and getting air out of the actual cooling system itself. So it'd probably be good to have an actual expansion tank. I guess we're just gonna have to look around and figure out what we like and what we don't like and what would work good for us, and buy one and put it on. So until then, we're just gonna keep this hose zip tied up, and hopefully it doesn't bust back off again. So we've literally just got the hose. We can run it to anywhere we want over here. Probably put it, I don't know, we were talking about close to the back. I don't know if we'd have to get a longer hose that route somewhere around the exhaust that's not gonna be too close to it. But I think for now, I'm just gonna put everything back together. We're gonna start the car, put some fluid in it. And by fluid, I mean radiator fluid. And go from there. So here we go. Well, we've probably got about 2.5 gallons worth in it. We're gonna start it up and see how it does. And we're gonna leave the cap off of it just to make sure that we have the system fully full. So I'm gonna start it real quick and see what happens, and hopefully it doesn't overflow everywhere. It wouldn't surprise me if it did, because right now the cap is at the lowest point of the radiator, and if we start pumping coolant, it's gonna go straight in there. So let's watch and see what it does. All right, let's see if coolant goes everywhere. Well, we didn't quite have enough fluid, so I'm gonna hop in the other old pig, the next burnout vehicle, and we're gonna take it up to AutoZone. I'm gonna go get some more coolant. First, we're gonna see if this thing will make it off of this fresh dirt that's been rained on, considering it's only 2-wheel drive. So I don't know how it's gonna do. We're gonna start it up and find out. Here's a little bit of a cold start. Oh yeah. Made it out without a problem. Just a couple tracks, but it's all right. She done pretty good. All right, well, we're gonna head up to the AutoZone real quick, go grab some coolant, and then we'll finish that thing and probably do a burnout tonight, and hopefully finish that tire off that we didn't burn off. Well, we're just pissing coolant out. We have one leak up there somewhere coming out of what I'm guessing is the throttle body. I can't really tell because my camera doesn't want to focus very well. Well, we have coolant leaking from up there. We have coolant coming out of our, I can't think of the word for it, coming out of where the radiator cap's at. We have this little hose that comes out of the radiator cap for when it gets too pressurized. And maybe you need to have an expansion tank for this. I don't know. I really thought you could just have a loop with no expansion tank and it would be all right, but from what I'm seeing, maybe we are building too much pressure without enough like space for the air to just go. Or we might just have a bad head gasket. I don't know. Well, that might be the end for the night, or we might continue working on it. I don't know. I'm gonna go get some food and think about what's going on. All right, well, we're back on day number 2. We got our Jordan here, and we're gonna try and figure out this cooling system today. So the hose that we had coming off the steam port that went through the throttle body, we took it off of the throttle body and got rid of it because it was still leaking. You can see the opening right there. We took the hose off of it, and we just have it going coiled up right there attached to the steam port. So it's just a temporary fix just to try and solve our cooling issue, and then once we have everything, we know everything's good with the block and everything, then we'll probably go from there and get an expansion tank or something similar. But for now, we're gonna take and I guess hook my pressure tester kit up to the radiator cap, and we're gonna make sure that we're not building excessive pressure while the engine's running and see how it does. So we're gonna hook it up real quick and see what it does. All right, well, we have it rigged up to it with some bolts holding those tabs in, but it's nice and tight and it shouldn't come flying off, and it should give us a reading as to if we're going way over coolant pressure. Frick off, B. Little fricker. It should give us a good reading to as if our cooling system is building way too much pressure. So whenever you're ready, Jordan, fire it up. Well, I think we've done enough testing to figure out that everything should be all right. We didn't build anything more than 5 PSI, and the cap itself for the radiator is rated for 16. And I don't think it's abnormal for a cooling system to go close to like 13 or 15 or somewhere close around that range. So I think we're all right. So the next order of business now, we're gonna take and pop that back tire off. All right. Well, we found a buddy that's gonna let us use this concrete pad, and he's gonna let us finish the rest of that tower off that we couldn't finish the burnout comp. So we're gonna finish it off real quick and probably end the video off there. There we go.
I want it full limiter, but let me just let on and off, you know?
Look at all that rubber. just a pile of rubber.
No.
Hell yeah. You did
Dude,
good,
that was
Jordan.
awesome.
We can finally put the stickers on there, all 6.
Yeah, that was the first time doing one in the backyard. Dude, this whole week has been full of events. Like, so I did my first burnout comp in a stadium. Did that, knocked that out of the park. And now in the backyard.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
See, this is what we built that car for.
Yeah, that's all it does.
Exactly that.
That's all it does. Just burns tires.
That he thinks it's,
We got a foggy yard over here. Well, we made sure to leave a mark. We left it everywhere. On the ground, on an air tank, on an old car seat, everywhere. That was awesome. All right, well, we're back on day number 3 here. We were gonna end out the video with that burnout, but we think we have another problem. We're gonna pull the rear diff cover out real quick and make sure that we don't have a bunch of metal shavings, because on the way home last night, Jordan said he felt popping and just going straight. So we're gonna pop that cover off real quick, see what kind of fluid we have, see if there's any damage, and then we'll probably end the video after that. I mean, it looks like your fluid. It looks maybe, I don't know. I can't tell, but it doesn't look terrible. No, it looks all right. How's that look to you?
Let's see here. Get the camera on it. Oh, looks very nasty.
Not really. I can see through it. So it's not like black. I don't think there was much in there. Where's the rest of it at? And there's supposed to be like 2 quarts in there.
So I was dipping out.
Alright, well, let me take this top bolt out and we'll see how the welds are holding up.
Yep, see if we see any metal or anything. We need to check this anyways. I mean,
Yeah, we've talked about it for a while, we just haven't done it.
well, it looks fine.
Yeah, there's not a magnet on it.
Oh, there's not. Oh hell.
I didn't think there was.
Well,
I guess the wheels are touching the ground so we can't turn it.
no.
Let me wipe my hands and we'll try and turn the axle and get a good look at the welds.
All right. Good for it.
Did we pass by the other side?
Right here, we're right at it.
So that's the other side.
Yep.
Does it look good?
It's looking like it's welded together still. Oh yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
I thought we was good, man. I really didn't.
Something's like jumping though, but maybe I don't know.
All right. Well, that's the end of this video. We finally got the cover taken off, looked at the diff, everything looked good. There wasn't any cracks that we could tell, so I guess the diff's still good. So we're going to throw the cover back on and some more fluid, and we'll be good to go. But that's the end of this video. We hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.